And it can either crumble by choice because we help it, we bring it down ourselves. But if it crumbles on its own, it's going to be a lot uglier.
One more question.
Sure.
How many other Mickey Z's are there now as compared to, let's say, 10 years ago or 15 years ago?
I mean, you're doing stuff
no
like
more
that.
Mickey Z's.
Yeah. You know, I mean, generic.
Well, I would like to think that the internet has allowed lots of people with alternative voices reach out. Sometimes you're just yelling into the wilderness because there's so many blogs and so many websites. But I know I'm online and I do talks and I meet people, and I'm always pleasantly surprised to find that people out there share some of what I'm saying. I don't want them to share all of it, that would be ridiculous, but they share a lot of what I'm saying. And if there's some encouragement, but as I keep saying, I feel like, you know, it's not moving fast enough because it's not about ideology at some point. At some point we have to recognize this crisis that we're in the middle of. Economically, environmentally, socially, and start slamming on the brakes at the very least.
So what do you think are your top 2 solutions as you see it?
You got here a little late, huh? Okay. I'm not real big on saying solutions in terms of like a long-term solution. What I'm saying, I sometimes tell people, let's say I'm talking about 80% of the forest being gone. I say, all right, well, go sit wherever, yeah, there's trees here, shockingly. Take a look at the trees. Try to imagine what clear cutting feels like. Try to imagine what a planet without trees would be like. Try to imagine what it sounds like when they clear cut a forest. So, if you fly anywhere, look down at what it looks like when they clear cut a forest, and then ask yourself, what should I be doing? Is this an emergency or not? And what should I be doing? And it sounds a little dramatic. It is dramatic. And it's time to start taking the type of action. If you were walking out on the street, I'm willing to bet that if you left here and you went out there and some little kid broke away from its mom and started running, you wouldn't think for a second before you dash over there and grab that kid before it got into the street, before it get hit. We're in an emergency. When a crisis occurs, we tend to act reflexively and instinctively. We're not doing that now. We're being taught how to, we're being kept within a tight parameter. Every 4 years you check a little box and then you can go to this protest, but you only can protest in this area if you have a permit. It's time to break the rules, create new rules.
So my question was, sir, what gives you hope, or what 2 things that you've observed has given you any hope?
It's not about hope. It's not about hope. It's about taking action. It's
okay, well, I mean, you wouldn't take action if you believed it was futile.
No,
so
no, that's not.
you
No, if I'm walking down the street in Astoria and there's an old woman who can't open the door to the bank, I'll go over and open it to her. I have no delusions that every old woman across the planet from that moment on is going to get into the bank. But I do the right thing at the right time. And it's not about hope. Maybe it's more about anger. It's more about urgency. It's more about trying to do the right thing. It's about just recognizing there's a crisis and you got to take care of it. And you got to yell and talk about it and not worry if you offend people, and not worry about what if someone's going to just think you're insane. So what? So what? So I actually don't concern myself with hope. Too often hope in this country, it's used as a verb. It's used like pray. You know, I hope for this, I hope for this, I pray for this, I pray for this, which takes the onus off of you from doing something. And as a noun, it's used like faith. I have faith this is going to happen. I have hope this is going to happen. Derek Jensen says, for example, when I get on a plane, I hope it doesn't crash. Well, that's true. I have no control over whether it crashes. I don't hope that after this meal, after this talk, I'm going to go eat. I'm going to go eat.
You hope that people would show up tonight. Hope is a part of our getting up in the morning.
That's semantics. I'm talking about in a greater sense of activism. I'm not buying into the Obama hope where because it's an illusion. Rita Mae Brown said, "Never hope more than you work." So how about that? I'll go as far as that. I'll never hope more than I work.